Hello enemies book lovers, my name is Ash and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my March TBR and I am beyond excited about this. Not only is March going to be my birthday month, which is where I'm going to be turning 30 years old, the new decade of my life, kind of excited, kind of nervous, but it's also going to be two different readathons are going to be happening in March. The first is going to be the Realmathon readathon done by Cassidy. I will link her down below. I think this is my third year doing it and I'm going to be in team creation, the animal one. Of course, I have to choose the animal one. And then I obviously have my own readathon, the Library Dragon readathon, so D&D based choose your own adventure kind of readathon. The prompts are really simple, so this is not too difficult for me to do. I'm going to be going down into the cold map because my character is going to be in the mountains of Dark Meadow from the Aurelium readathon, which means I get to do 4 prompts for my readathon. Cassidy's readathon is kind of just open to interpretation. It's a competitive readathon where if you get points, you can either remove it from other teams or add it to your own. I'm not usually a competitive readathon person anymore. I don't really like them anymore, but I always take part in Realmathon. And last year it was in April, this year it was in March, ironically enough, during the same time as my readathon. But I don't mind sharing. Cassidy's awesome, so check her channel out if you haven't seen her already. I'm sure if you've seen me, maybe you've seen her. So there are 2 things I'm going to do in this video. One is going to be unwrapping a book because it is my birthday month and I thought it made sense for me to unwrap a book. I'm actually really excited about it because it's been a while since I've done it, and there's I think there's around 30 books behind me that I have yet to read of my own TBR, and I'm really excited to do it. So at the end of the video, I'll be doing that, and I'll also be doing my scratch off that I've recently done. I think it's actually been a year ago this month, actually. I created scratch off cards. I already scratched them all off because I wanted to see if I wanted to use any of them, but it wasn't as organized as I would have liked. So I had the romance scratch off, I had the fantasy one, and then I had your choices. So this is what it used to look like, where I just had them and I would randomly select them like a bingo card. I'm not doing that anymore. I decided to do them individually. It makes it a lot easier for me to choose, and I like it a lot more because I was able to keep track of what is what. So I got individual cards, I numbered them, I made them on my Cricut. I might do a video of how I made them, like a 4-minute video, because it's kind of fun to watch like the process of it. I made it using my Cricut Joy. Overall, it was probably less than like $10 to make these, which is really good for me. So this is it. I made this out of cardboard in my recycling. I'm very innovative and I use my things very wisely. I like to reuse, recycle, you know. They're all numbered and shuffled. That way I know the number behind it and who the person was that recommended me the books. The light colors are ones are recommended by you. So these are either your favorites or recommendations, or I stole them from your videos. There wasn't enough recommendations, so I went to people that I like to watch, other booktubers, and I stole their favorite books of the year, mostly like the 2023 best books of the year. I went through almost everyone's videos, kind of skimmed them because I already watched most of them, and just wrote down ones I liked because I didn't have enough, like I said. So I stole some of yours, and I'm not sorry about it. If I get someone that's a booktuber, I will link them down below so you can check them out. But yes, these ones, the light ones, are your choices, or your favorites, and then these ones are the ones I put in for myself because I want to get through my own TBR too. So these ones are like my TBR jar or my want to read list on Goodreads. So the darker ones are my choices and the lighter ones are yours, and this is obviously going to be romance. The pink ones are romance. Next are gray and purple. These are for series I'm currently in the middle of, so these are the ones I'm currently in the middle of. This is just something I could do every month if I want to see what book I can continue, or what series I can continue, I should say. I haven't filled these ones out. I might also do these as series, but I'm also considering doing these as like booktubers' least favorite books or like my viewers' least favorite books. I feel like that'd be kind of fun and chaotic. Although I have a lot of other colors I can use, so I can make more if I wanted to and do people's least favorites. I might actually end up doing that because I think it'd be kind of fun. I might like the books that they don't like, or I might just like agree with them. I don't know. Next is fantasy. Light blue and the medium colored blue is your choices, and then obviously the darker blue is my choice. So we have yours choices, favorites, and then my choices for fantasy. And last but not least, we have yellow, green. This is going to be your choices, the light green and yellow, and then the dark green, of course, is my choice. This is going to be for other. This is for thriller, mystery, horror, classics. Anything that is really outside of my comfort zone. Usually fantasy and romance are my most read genres. So this is like my other miscellaneous kind of books. These are mostly standalones, not all of them though, but a lot of these are standalones. This is like my safe zone for when it comes to reading books that are not in series and starting new series, because I really don't need to do that, but this is my safe zone when it comes to series. So I'm actually going to be shuffling these, which I know is really sad to do, but I'm going to be shuffling these so that I can choose one at random every single month. I'm hoping to do this every single month and choose one at random. I would like to do more than one once in a while, but right now I'm just going to be nice to myself and just do one. I don't want to be starting a million series. I'm currently in the middle of 12 series, which is actually pretty good. I went down a few. I finished I think 2 this year already, and I DNF'd 1, so that's great. So let's try not to start too many again. I'm going to do the scratch off section of my video and the unwrapping of my video at the end of this video. So let me just go through the prompts and the books I'm going to be reading this month before it's randomly decided for me. So I'm going to go on to the books now that I'm going to be reading in March. The first one's a bit strange and not really something I usually read, but this is for one of my prompts for my readathon. The first prompt for my readathon is to read a book with food on the cover, and my dragon is a blood dragon, so I have the prerequisite of reading a book with at least, I think it's 3 sources of meat on the cover, either human or animal, that my dragon has to eat in order to get my blood reserves up. So in order for them to raise their blood levels, they have to consume meat. And prior to this prompt, I actually said that his favorite food is cattle because it's the most abundant in the area from the farmers. So I had to choose a book with a cow on the cover just because I felt like it made sense for my dragon, Odin. So went a little above and beyond in regards to how many animals I have in my TBR this month, which is actually really perfect for my Realmathon TBR because for team creation, if you have an animal on the cover, you get bonus points. And I have, at least on this cover alone, 12 animals. This is Audrey parentheses Cow. This is by Dan Burrell, and this is a stranger one. This is a children's novel, I think it is, and it's kind of like done in like a play kind of way. There are the characters' names, or like cow, duck, skunk, and it says like their dialogue. It reminds me, like I said, of a play. This follows Audrey the cow, who is in a farm with a bunch of other animals, and she realized that she's going to be used for meat, that she's going to be put into a slaughterhouse, and so her goal is to try to escape this farm. And so that's the entire premise of this. It's going to be simple and easy. I think it's for children, so it's going to be very simple. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it because of the formatting and stuff, but supposedly it's like a funny thing about like life and death and everything, and obviously as a vegetarian I am very familiar with this. On this cover there are a bunch of animals, so my dragon is set. This is only 242 pages, so I should be flying through it when I finish it, and I'm looking forward to it. I guess I'm a little bit nervous about this one, but I'm excited to try something new and see if I enjoy it, and if I don't enjoy it, at least it'll count for my prompt. The next prompt in my readathon is an optional prompt. This is to read a book with feathers or a bird on the cover, and this one was pretty easy because I actually had a book that was perfect for this that is in a series I need to finish, and that is The Raven King, which is the second book in the All for the Game series by Nora Sakavic. This is a dark sports trilogy. It has a little bit of romance in it, but it is pretty dark at times. The main character, I think, is under his father, who is a crime. It's been a long time since I read the first book, I'll be honest with you. It's probably been over a year now. But there is dark themes within it with the main character. He's trying to hide from other people because there are people that would off him if they found him because of his father being in a pretty powerful position considering his, I don't know what he does. I think he might be like either in the mafia or like in the drug industry. All I know is that he's obviously in a darker side of the world. Even though it's a bad idea because it might bring attention to him, he joins a sports team called XC, which is a mix between lacrosse, I think, and soccer, and he kind of like starts to realize he enjoys it, and there's also someone that he's interested in, or there's someone that's interested in him. There's a lot of like trigger warnings in this, so please be careful. I am looking forward to continuing it. I know there's a lot of people that really enjoy this trilogy. I've been told negative things about this trilogy, that's why I've kind of put it off for so long, but I'm looking forward to finally kind of just picking it up and trying to get to the end of it. There's only 2 books left because it's a trilogy. I should really be getting to this anyway because I need to finish my trilogies in series. I also realized how bad a recap that was, but we're gonna pretend it wasn't that bad. The third book on my TBR is going to be fulfilling the prompt for my readathon to fly through something, a quick read, something that is really quick and easy, and that's going to be a book that's only 112 pages. This book is called Minor Detail by Adania Shibli, and this is a fictional book based off of a Palestinian woman, written by a Palestinian woman herself. Like I said, this is fictional, and this follows the events a year after the Palestinian War, where the Israelis are celebrating because of their independence and taking over the land. As we follow that side, we're also following the Palestinian woman who is trying to figure out things that also happened in the past, things that happened a year prior, or trying to look into things more and kind of dig deeper into it. Obviously, this is going to be something that's a bit dark, and I'm assuming it would be considering that this is based off of real life. Adania Shibli herself had this book nominated for an award and was taken away from her just because she's Palestinian. A great way to compensate for what happened to her is to read her books. So I'm going to read this, and even if I like it or not, I heard someone talk about it and they didn't love it, but I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook, so that might help my experience. Regardless if I like it or not, I want to support and talk about Palestinian authors, so that's what I'm going to do for this book. So the last prompt for my map, for my readathon, is to read a book that like warms me up, and I love romance, so this was pretty easy for me to read a romance book, and it's a little bit embarrassing to admit this. I didn't read a certain book last month. Actually, I think I didn't read a few books in February. I had a really rough February, honestly, and I'm hoping that March is a better month, but because it was such a rough month, I had a hard time picking up books. One of those books was Archangel's Consort, which is the third book in the Guild Hunter series by Nilidini Singh. I didn't pick this up yet. I'm a little bit sad about it, but I want to continue the series. I want to get further into it this year. It's a goal of mine, and because I didn't get to it in February, I want to continue it in March. So this is going to fulfill my prompt for warming up, because this is a paranormal romance series, and I'm having a fun time with it, with angels and vampires, and it's just fun. It's just fun. This is a series that kind of bounces between different couples, the main couple, Raphael and Alana, and then we follow other couples in between them. I'm hoping I actually get to it in March. I feel like I procrastinate with the series way too much, along with a lot of other series I'm in the middle of. Yeah, I really hope I can get to this series because I've been really pushing it back. So from now on, my readathon is kind of over. I only had about 4 prompts max, 4 book prompts at least. So from this point forward, it's other books in my TBR. So there's 5 books left for my TBR for this month. So it's, yeah, I went overboard again, as usual. This is a really bad habit I have. I think a lot of people that read have way too much ambition, but it's okay. I feel like it's a good thing. It's good to have ambition and motivation. So my 5th book is going to be fulfilling my Aurelium annual readathon. I'm on the right side of the path currently, and for the next prompt, the one that I'm going to be doing this month or in March, I'm going to be doing the continue or start a series that intimidates you. And this one was pretty simple because I have a really big, chunky, long series I need to continue, and I really want to this year anyway, and so I decided to pick up Caliban's War by James S.A. Corey. This is the 2nd book out of the 9th, and the 1st book I really liked. This is an epic adult sci-fi series that I've been really enjoying so far. I mean, the 1st book, I didn't love the ending. I didn't talk too much about it. I didn't do a wrap-up about it, but I might do a wrap-up in the beginning of March, so I might talk about it eventually. I really did enjoy it though overall, and it's probably one of the best like sci-fi adult series I've ever read. Usually adult sci-fi confuses me, but this series for me personally, I thought it was pretty simple to consume and understand. The 1st book follows 2 different characters, Miller and Holden. Holden is an interesting character. He is a little bit impulsive, and he is a very good person and kind-hearted, but I think sometimes he does things that he doesn't really think about, and he really should think before he acts. And then we have Miller, who's a detective who's trying to figure out a case about a missing woman. I really like how the 1st book started. We start with the person that he's looking for, it's her perspective, and then we cut to the 2 male protagonists, Miller and Holden. Really cool concept. I really like how it started. So I'm going to be starting this one. I don't want to talk too much about what this one's about because it could spoil things, but this one's obviously based off of a war that was probably started from the 1st book, and so we're going to see what happens with the 1st book and how it's going to affect this one. We're going to be seeing different planets in this one I'm excited about, so we're going to be following different planets and what's happening on them, and I'm looking forward to it. The 6th book on my March TBR is going to be one that I'm going to be getting from Kindle Unlimited. This is written by a trans author, which I am ecstatic about because I really need to read more books written by trans authors. This is called Exhale. This is written by Joel Abernathy, and this is a male-male shifter romance, so a paranormal romance between 2 male characters. So all I really know about the synopsis of this book is that we're following a male character who has a daughter who's in trouble. So I'm not sure if she's kidnapped or was taken, but he needs to find her. And then obviously there's going to be the alpha male that is going to be there as well. So all I know is it's like a dark shifter romance, and I don't know how dark it's gonna be. I'm not a huge fan of like the really dark stuff, like the really messed up stuff. I'm hoping it won't be too weird, but I'm really hopeful about it, and this author has a lot of other works, so I'm hoping I will like their work because I just really want to. I'm always a bit nervous with reading Kindle Limited, smaller indie authors or self-published authors. It's always like a hit or miss with me. In February, I had like 2 DNFs and I felt so bad about it, but I'm really hoping I'll like this one. I have a little bit of hope and a little bit of faith. I'm trying not to be too optimistic about it though, but this one really does sound interesting, and I love my paranormal romances, so I'm going to try it and see if I like it. The 7th and last book I'm going to be getting to before I get to my unwrapping and scratch off is going to be a nonfiction. I try to read a nonfiction every month. I don't think I'm going to be able to get to the February one, which is really sad, but I'm trying to read it one a month. If my headspace is in the right place, then I'm going to try my best to at least. And because March is Women's History Month, I'm going to be reading Ain't I Woman by Bell Hooks. This is about Black women and feminism. The synopsis is very short, so I'm going to just read it directly from the source because it's like 2 lines. Ain't I Woman examines the impact of sexism on Black women during slavery, the historical devaluation of Black womanhood, Black male sexism, racism within the recent women's movement, and the Black women's involvement in feminism. It touches upon a lot of women's movement, the impact that Black women had on it, and the whole beginning of this feminism movement that was probably very heavily inspired by Black women themselves because of how badly they were treated and the oppression that they experienced. I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook. It's only 205 pages, so it should be pretty quick. So I'm looking forward to learning more about Black history and how it has impacted us in so many ways. So that is one of the books I'm going to be reading, and is my nonfiction for March. I also forgot to mention in the beginning of the video very briefly, I'm also going to be reading how many volumes? I'm going to be reading volume 4 to 10, hopefully, of Attack on Titan. I decided not to split my series up like 3 volumes a month. It was kind of getting annoying, so I'm just going to try to binge series at the same time. So I'm going to be reading Attack on Titan. It's going to be my main priority for the beginning of the year. Usually I mention my manga in the beginning of my videos. I forgot to do it this month, but I'm going to be reading Attack on Titan for March and hopefully focusing on it and finishing it within the first few months. So my 8th and 9th book are going to be my scratch off and my unwrapping books. So let me start with my scratch off and show you what I got for that. I already know what I got, but I'm going to pretend it's a surprise for all of us. I did shuffle my scratch offs behind me, so they are now shuffled so that from now on I don't have to worry about shuffling them myself. But let me just cut to the video of where I actually choose a book and show you what I get. Oh, we're starting this off strong. I feel like I need to sneeze already. So I have my scratch cards. I'm going to quickly do this and pick one. He's loud. This is why I don't film with him around. He's loud. Sorry if you hear him. But I'm going to be selecting a scratch off card. So I did a really trash job at shuffling it. That way I don't have to worry about too much later. And now I'm going to pick at random. So let me just choose what I'm going to be choosing. I like this one. It kind of like sings to me. Oh. This is a continuous series. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that. I want to choose one of your choices. Okay, let me just not do that. Let me just choose again. Something that is maybe yours or a different book. This. Oh, we got one of your choices. Okay, fun. I got my first choice. This is going to be my first book I'm going to be using for my scratch off. Let's see what's going to be. I have a camera down here so you can see me and the scratch off. This might be awkward because I'm going to have to look down right here. So it just looks like I'm looking down at the ground, but I'm actually looking at my windowsill. Let's see what my first one's going to be. Okay, the first one's going to be a nice, easy one. Okay, fun. This is my first choice, the Traveling Cat Chronicles. So for my first scratch off, as you saw, I got the Traveling Cat Chronicles. This is written by Hiro Arikawa, and this is going to be a very simple, hopefully easy read. It might make me emotional, I don't know. So it's personally recommended to me by Chelsea May, one of my viewers. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate you so much. And I'm not sure if I stole this from them or if they told me to do this, but Griff Reads, which is one of the people I watch on BookTube, I will also link down below. This was something that they really enjoyed, so I also put it on my list. This is also probably something I'd probably just stole from them, honestly. I don't think they told me to read this, but Chelsea May did, so thank you, Chelsea. This is following a cat named Nana who travels with her owner around Japan, and that's pretty much the simple synopsis of it. It might make me emotional. I don't know. I have a feeling it might. It has a cat on it and it's light blue. It's very light blue, which means for team creation, I have 2, you know, bonus points. I don't have any other blue books on my TBR, which is sad, unless I pull one behind me, which is very slim to none because I don't really own that many blue books, but I have some hope. I've been having some good luck this month, so maybe I'll have some luck. It's only 275 pages. I should be getting through this really quick and easy, and I'm happy because I have a really big TBR for March, so it's nice to have a shorter book. My scratch off game is fun. I like doing it, and I appreciate you all for giving me recommendations. If you have any recommendations for my scratch off, put them down below or put them in my community post talking about my scratch off thing. Whatever you want to do, whatever you prefer. Go and do that if you want to. You don't have to tell me anything. So with everything combined, there is 2,800 pages on my TBR currently, and I like to stay under the amount of days of the month. So if there's like 31 days, I try to stay under 3,100 pages. So I'm hoping that whatever I choose will not be over like 300 to 400 pages. I have a really bad feeling about this though. I have some books on here that are like 800 pages are behind me. I mean, a little bit nervous. I'll be honest with you. So for my birthday month, my birthday's on March 25th, by the way, 1994. And I'm going to be doing one of these because I think it'd be kind of fun to unwrap a book. It's like pretending I'm giving myself a gift for my birthday. The way I do that is I have a trinket tray that has all of the numbers on it. I also added 3 new books on this shelf that have shapes instead of numbers, and I feel like I was watching Squid Games when I was doing it, so they're like the shape of like the cookie thing. I don't know why I did that. So there's a star, a triangle, and a circle, I think. I think there's around 30 books on my shelf behind me. I also did new ones with different wrapping paper. I really like the new wrapping paper. It's really cute. So we have 3 different types of wrapping paper behind me. Let me just select a book. The ones I don't want are like the first, like, oh shoot, one just fell. Should I use that one? This one just fell on my lap. I'm gonna say that's Destiny. I'm gonna just say this one's Destiny. I'm just gonna keep that one. The Fates have chosen a book for me, but I'm gonna just mention what I said. The first, I think, like 5 books. I don't know if you can see it from here. Book 3, 5, and 7 will literally end my life. So we're hoping we don't get that. So 15, this chunky one behind me. 3, 5, 7, and 15. We do not want those ones. If I get this, fate hates me. So we're gonna see what it is, and I'm gonna show you first if I can. I'm gonna try to at least. Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. Oh my god, I'm so dumb. It wasn't even unfolded. Let's see what it is. 2. Actually, it looks pretty promising. It looks pretty promising. So 2 is this one. So let me just move my stuff and get it. Okay, so I got 2. This is my annoyingly reflective paper. Oh my god, I'm blinding you. I'm so sorry. That's why I have the other wrapping paper, because I feel like this is annoying and very glaring, literally. So let me just unwrap this and see what it's going to be. It's not too big. It's probably under 400 pages, so that's something I can be okay with. I usually say this like unwrap or unhaul, so if I don't like it, I will unhaul it because I'm just tired of having books on my shelves. I don't really think I'm going to read anymore. So a lot of my older YA books I want to unhaul. I want to try it first before I do that. So let's see what this is going to be, and I'm going to stop blinding you with this wrapping paper. I'm going to kind of like unfold it because it's very loud, and I'm just going to show it to you. I think I might reuse this because it's indestructible. Might as well use it again because the environment is not going to be able to decompose this, and I'm very sorry to the environment. I have not looked at it yet. Let me see what this is going to be. Yeah, You know, I did want to read a fantasy series, and I guess I'm going to be. This is The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I know that Samantha Shannon is redoing the books and making kind of like more revised, better versions because she wrote this when she was pretty young, or a long time ago. And so she is doing, or they are doing more, you know, updated versions of this. And I guess I'm gonna read the older one. I don't know how I feel about this because I'm pretty sure that the series is not completed yet, and I do not like reading uncompleted series, especially ones that have been, you know, in development or being written for like a long period of time, because me and my memory are bad, and if you're going to be putting 1, 2, 3 years in between the books, I'm not gonna remember anything. I don't think I'm gonna be committing to this series anytime soon, but I will try to read the first book. If I like it, I will continue the series in the future and probably reread this. I don't think I'm gonna be able to read this and catch up to the series and then have to wait. This is my last book for the month. How long is this book? Let me see. Oh boy, it's almost 500 pages. It's, that's something else. It's around 465 pages. So it's a little bit long, but why not add that to my list? It's not like I have anything else to do for March other than my birthday and maybe seeing my family, but whatever, that doesn't matter, I guess. So those are the 9 novels I'm planning on reading in March. That's kind of crazy for me to say. And the 7 manga that I plan on reading for March. As usual, this is a very big TBR. Unfortunate. And for my readathon, I have to read at least 50% diversely to get my extra point, and I'm going to be reading 6 of these are going to be diverse and 2 of them are not going to be, so that's a definitely obvious over 50%. So that is all for my TBR for March. I had a pretty fun time. I like unwrapping my books. It's fun. Let me know what your TBR is if you aren't in the Discord, or if you're someone that just wants to do their own thing, if you're someone that is doing Realmathon or whatever readathons that's happening. So with that, thank you so much for watching. As usual, I am so appreciative for you being here. Hope you have a great day, hope you have a great month, and you have a great reading month in March, and I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye, everyone.